Okay, we'll call the meeting into order, the East Long Meadow Housing Authority, August 14, 2019. First on the agenda is the minutes of July 2019. If everyone has the opportunity to take a look, I'll entertain a motion to...
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes. I've already looked at them.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Not hearing any. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes got it. 4-0.
Okay, and does anybody have an issue with my 510?
No, I think that was the time. Yeah.
I just kind of threw a guess out there because I didn't mark it.
That was fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
time-wise, yeah.
Next on the agenda is the formula funding.
Okay, that's that pretty color sheet. And this
So
has,
this is the formula grant?
yes,
Okay.
this is all the monies, the years, and I had them color copy it for you guys, because I don't have a color copier, it just makes looking at it a lot easier. So you can see all the active projects, and all the projects that are not active. So the first,
Green color.
yeah, I'm looking here, like the first two have been completed. The third one, the interior renovations on Wood, is still in progress. The security doors have been completed. The interior renovations on Lowell is in the process. Roofs haven't started yet, but they're in the process.
That's for Inward Common, the roofs?
Yep, and then the repave the roadways, we know that we're not getting that this year, so I asked to bump that out till next year, because we were told it was gonna be done then. And then we have, the upgrade, the Federal Pacific panels is at Inward Commons. And, that is just about at the end.
That's your phone.
Someone's phone's
That's your
going off.
phone, Lynn, I think.
I don't have a
Oh.
phone on me.
Is that your phone?
Might be
Lenny?
Sitting on it.
No.
I actually hear, but I don't think it's my phone.
I think you're sitting and it's getting the voice.
That's so funny, it's picked up on the mic.
And then the exterior component on Barn
Oh,
Street,
it's,
that's in the,
It's
that's being worked on right now. So the repair of the exterior of the admin building, which is this building, and repair of, they call it porches, but it's really decks. In the yellow, that's all going to be started shortly. They go, even though our year is a regular calendar year from January to December, their year goes from July 1st to June 30th.
Is yours supposed to be the same as ours?
What's that?
Is yours the same as ours?
That's all.
I only got 2 yellow things and you got 1,
Yeah,
2, 3,
she's
4.
got 3, she's got 2,
Oh.
an
I'm just
extra
trying to find
line,
out why
We
you
got
got so
2
many
here.
more lines
Okay.
than me.
extra line on the bottom too.
Let me get this one. This one is Jim's.
That's what we.
Okay, now I think maybe, okay.
Yeah.
Now we got the orange, but there's not 4 in here. It's only 3.
Okay, the door security upgrades has been removed. That has been finished, so they did remove
Okay.
that from there.
Okay.
And see, the one I was looking at is the one that I went over with my project
DHCD.
person. And this is the one when he brought it back to me. So the window
This is the one?
replacement,
Or this one is the one.
the one that you have is the correct one.
Okay.
Okay.
Which windows are those? Are the ones here?
The windows that he had in yellow at Quarry Hill.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the first 3 buildings, but they're more than likely, they're gonna group them all together. But they have them over the next 3 years.
10-1, 10-20. That's next year. 8-23, 20.
Right. So then if you read across, you can see, it tells you if it's active, if, nothing here said it was closed, but there's a few things that are closed. The DCD is the design, contract date. So that's kind of like the starting date of when they put the project together.
That's the starting date.
Yeah, that's when we like added it into, sometimes I can change things around, because a lot of stuff has been on here for a long time, but that's kind of like their start date. And then the TDC is for total design cost, so that's what they call the soft cost and construction cost. And the soft cost is like an architect or an engineer, it's more like the paperwork stuff. So that's like the total cost for everything.
So the numbers that are under the total design cost, so 2020, 2021, what does that have? That's what we're anticipating in 2020 to pay out?
Correct.
Okay.
That's all different prices there. That's all together. It's gonna be like about 500,000.
Yep.
That's for all the buildings.
Right,
though.
like under 2020, like the first one has been completed, that's why they have a zero there. The second one's been completed, that's why there's a 0 there. And the rest of them are still in construction phase.
So we've paid a portion of money already toward them, or is, I
Yeah,
just
and
noticed when the numbers don't
Right, under
match.
the
I don't know.
TDC,
Yep.
you have, right, we've already paid.
73, okay,
We've already paid some of the money towards that.
okay. Alrighty.
So,
Yeah, so that's a good call on those colors. Didn't even notice.
A lot of work to be done in the next 5 years.
Yeah, huh?
Oh yeah, mine goes on even to a next page,
What
because I have
year?
lots of stuff.
What year were these built? Quarry Hill.
Torrey Hill was built in the late 70s. Inward Commons was the early 70s. The Village was early 60s. And
That's
then
the
the
oldest.
Congregate's like the 80s. Yeah. And the houses are all over the
Whenever,
place,
yeah.
from 1920s all the way up to the 80s.
So we need a vote on this, right?
We need to vote on this, yes.
Alright, with the presentation that Lynn had provided to us, I'll entertain a motion to approve the formula funding for the next 5 years.
So moved.
Do I hear a
I'll
second?
second that.
Any other further discussion? Not hearing any, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes got it, 4-0. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the AUP results.
So I believe last month
Well,
I...
they could have printed any smaller, right? Jesus Christ. You need a microscope here.
Yep. So last month, I believe I informed the board that we were under audit, so this is the results of the audit. And they do publicize these. So there was two things that, I believe there was 2 things they told me that, what I wasn't doing correctly, and one is anytime that we get cash, I think it's on the very first page, they want us to run to the bank with the cash that day, or deposit it within like a 24-hour period.
Anytime you do what? You
Anytime
lost-
we receive cash in the office, they want us to run to the bank with it within
Cash.
24 hours.
Not a check, though.
No, not a check, but cash.
So you could be going every day. to the bank, realistically.
Realistically. So I
Well, they don't wanna
really,
keep it around here, that's the point.
yeah, I really didn't know that. I'm trying to keep going to the bank down to like once a month was my goal. Instead of them running all the time, but, I think that was like one of their new policies that they put out, because I don't think they just want cash hanging around, but we do have a safe in the office and all that, all the money goes in the safe, all the checks and the cash and anything of value goes in the safe every night and locked up.
So my question is, now I was gonna ask if we had a safe, because of time restraints and all that stuff. Is that an interpretation by them, or was that a statute, or did the auditor give you anything in writing? Because I can understand if the money is accounted for, and if you go to the bank once a week, per se, on a Friday, you know, you could have different auditors that come in, and it's going to be a different opinion from each individual. So I'm just saying you know, it's like all of a sudden somebody comes in at 4:15, your day is done at 4 o'clock. You know, now
not
do we
be able to go to
send
bank
somebody to go to
anyway.
the bank? You
And
know?
if it's on a Friday.
And if it's on a Friday, so now you're looking at, if it's not you going, now if it's an employee going, now that's an effect that now we have to pay that individual overtime that's here after 4 o'clock.
So people come in here and pay their rent
Yes.
physically, yeah, all of them, or just some
Yeah,
of
some,
them?
depends when you get your paycheck too. Some people get it in the 5th of the month, some people get it in the end of the month, some people get it in the middle of the month, so.
I could see if after their audit, if they saw that there was any money that was missing, then it would be, you know, then I
A
think it would be a finding, but then I would think that the board then would recommend saying,
Yeah.
okay, money needs to go there. But if all money has been accounted for and there hasn't been, and it's this auditor that's coming in here and saying, well, this is what you should do.
Yeah.
But, you know, my first thing is, where is it in writing that, does all housing authorities do this?
It says it's DHCD guidelines. Like I said,
Well, it's a
I-
guideline, but
yeah.
it's not you know, it's their guidelines of what you should do, but,
right,
you know, then it's, you know, it's
And
the
she-
board's authority to
right.
make sure if there was money missing, you know, they're just giving you a guideline and of what should be done. That's my, you know, my feeling that I look at the other aspects now, if you have to pay overtime, if it's Friday, if it's a
Does it
holiday.
check out all the audit?
Then if you have a snowstorm,
I can't
banks
tell
close.
you.
It's right,
Yeah.
you know, I think once a.
Are
And
we
out of 12,
twice a
on
week,
the
it's way
goal
more than
here?
half.
and on the, out of 12 months, I mean, she said she only saw it twice happen, that it went over 24 hours. So,
That's less than.
I mean, that's just, I'm
Less
telling you the
than
results.
0.001%.
Okay.
I
Was there
can live
anything else,
with
or is
that.
Looks like everything else.
Yeah,
except
there
maybe
was
that last page.
one
something.
other thing.
Says no,
Obtain
no,
a copy of the
no. NA,
contract.
what's NA?
Register.
stand?
Not
Oh,
applicable.
The exact,
The contract register, I guess she told me there was an official form, which I didn't know about, and I don't know if it came out in an email and I missed it or whatever, but, the contract, register, and what that is they want the office to, make sure we're not having a vendor that we spend more than $10,000 with, because
I don't
then
have
we
the
would have
pink
to go out
sheets,
to
by the
bid.
way.
Okay.
But we never know, so say we have a plumber and we have, you know, maybe one year was like $500 or $2,000, but then maybe one year we had a lot of broken pipes, or, you know, and it's scattered throughout the year, and it ends up being more than
How many
$10,000. They
sheets you
want
got?
us to go out to another
don't have a
vendor
pink
to get
sheet.
another plumber to do, so they have a contract register, so we have one in place. That
That's
we
your first
put,
sheet?
like, we have our regular plumbers, electricians, the carpet people, floor
I guess I don't
people,
need it.
Right.
I mean, just our
There should be
appliances,
4
whoever
sheets,
we,
Benny.
Yeah, I know, but they have a pink sheet.
But that would be hard.
You and
if
I got
you
white
have
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Small jobs
Just
and you
ran out
really
of
don't
paper.
know where you're at, if you're
I think they're the same.
accumulating work.
yeah,
Okay. So there is a
Okay.
form even with the same contractor doing multiple jobs.
Right, so,
Still have to fill out a form.
and she told me she was gonna send the form and I still haven't received it. She said they just wanted a lot more information on it and I really don't know what other information on it, cause the goal is the dollar amount. They don't want you spending over the dollar amount for a certain vendor, so,
In multiple jobs, not just one job, multiple jobs.
Yeah.
Throughout the year.
right,
It just goes annually, then it starts back at 0 again and.
yes.
Okay.
So they wanna make sure that we're just not,
Using the same vendor all the time.
right, exactly. So we have to have like 2 electricians and 2 plumbers and 2 of like everything, if not 3.
Every time we do a
plumbers,
job, do we have to keep like a
or if
log
it
of
only
it? So we have a
requires one, you
vendor,
gotta
it's their
have two?
page, every time you do a job, and you gotta keep the total dollar amount.
Yeah, but
That's
why
what
do you
we
have to have
have.
two if you only need one?
That's what we do with our contract register, that's how we have it set up. But apparently, when she looked at it, she said DHCD had a form, which, like I said, I didn't
An
know,
official
that
form.
had
Okay.
extra lines on it to ask other questions, which,
What else?
and then she
So-
said, like, I said she was gonna send it to me, but I still haven't received it yet, so.
I mean, if you
So to
only-
answer your question, Vinny,
Is a,
the thing is, what Lynn was saying is DHCD is saying that they don't want the housing authorities to spend more than 10,000 on a certain vendor. So that's why Lynn was saying, you don't know what's gonna happen during the course of a year, you know?
yeah, I understand,
So we may need to have, as long as when you're putting out the bids and all that stuff, or you're not going out for the bids,
but I thought you had you had to have 2 plumbers on the same job.
Not on the same job.
No, okay.
so they're just making sure that you're not just hiring one certain,
Yeah, so,
it's the same
yeah.
certain person that you're not giving the opportunity to another vendor to come in and perform the services.
Yeah, baloney.
Well, overall, I'm very happy to see that. In my mind, I think those are 2 very, very small, not even findings, but I'm sure they have to put something down. So, my biggest thing and my biggest concern, I'm sure, with the other board members is making sure that all the money is accounted for
That's
and
the
inventory.
main
That's
thing,
the
right.
main thing. So,
Right.
And then-
kudos.
Right, and the rent collection, the tenant accounts receivables is usually a big one, cause people have thousands and thousands owed and we do not. So,
Some people don't pay it either every month.
yeah, we're pretty much right on top of it.
Good to hear. All right.
So should we vote on this or not?
No, you don't need
No,
to
it's just
vote
an
on it,
FYI,
just
it's
information.
information that we can see how the agency is running and any findings, so it's kudos to Lynn and the staff, job well done. Next on the agenda is the board member training.
So I sent out the flyer that I got. I think I sent it out to anybody, so I wasn't too sure if anybody was interested in doing any of them.
What?
The board member training. I don't think I gave one to you, cause I know you had you'd had
We
to,
just had one, didn't we?
yeah, you had to do one for, the tenant board member training.
Oh,
I'm interested, but I cannot do on a Friday.
I know on Fridays,
Yeah,
that's,
and it's not
usually
supposed
it
to,
was
I'll
on,
take
Usually
time
it's
off
always
of
on
work
Saturdays.
it was always
whatever.
on Saturdays before.
what's
So
that
this
for?
one's
They're
gonna be
interesting,
all
Is
on
that,
Friday.
but
You have to do that? Or I
It's
don't have
just-
to do that?
I'm gonna check if you do, because you had to already do a training to be, a tenant board member, so I don't know if it encompasses all this other ones or not.
No,
I
think
really don't know.
Right, I think that was the online training that everyone had to do, that was part of DHCD after, what happened years ago.
No, he actually had to go to one.
Oh, did he?
A tenant.
I went to one, 2
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
That was for tenants, I
It was
think.
just for tenant
Okay.
board members.
These trainings are good if it's,
That's online though, right?
No,
No.
it's
no,
in
these,
Northampton.
oh, they're doing, it used to have been up
Christ.
at the Holyoke Housing Authority on Saturdays.
and they're half days, right?
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
half days.
Yeah, they got 2 days, so they got personnel and financial elements on one day, and then professional and legal on another day.
I'd almost rather if they were in the evening. You know what I mean? After work, like
Yeah.
5 to 9 or something.
20 The 20, what?
The 20th and the 27th.
That's 2 days then.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that, right?
I'm gonna find out if you would still have to do that.
Or if we all have to do that. I don't know. But
I did all those a couple of years ago. I was even helping Jeff Driscoll and everybody else for that training.
so. Anyway,
Alright, anything else for the agenda today?
Yeah, the only other thing, I wasn't really too sure about, I got the, IDs.
did you get an answer from the road there?
Yeah, they're gonna do it next year.
They're
not
right
gonna
at
do it
doing
this year.
next year?
That's what they said.
And next year, they're gonna say they're doing it next year. Well,
We don't
that's,
know.
you know, that's, I would say to that, I'm sorry, I'm not running this place, but this now is going on, I've been dealing with this even before I was a tenant, I mean, a commissioner, okay? And this has been going on for 3 years now, okay? And that road, at least do that part there so that the fire engine can get up here. I mean, there's no excuse for them to leave that road like that another year because that thing is washing out. I don't care who you are. That's my honest opinion on it.
No, unfortunately, we've attempted to talk with the local officials,
Well,
and this is all based on because we had to go back and forth and prove that
yeah, I
this.
proved it.
I know that this road, this is a road that's owned by the town.
Right. But
And
the-
this is where they get the special funds from the Chapter 90, the
Yeah,
gas
but wait a
taxes.
minute. But the guy told me, Sweeney, because I said you got to get on the list to be paved. So he went to Boston, okay,
Mhm.
and put it on the list. He said they won't give him any money for this road.
Well, Lynn
No,
has-
wait a minute. That's what he told me. I don't even know if he put it on the list.
Well, we don't know.
Okay,
But
I don't know what transpired, but who you talked to in Boston anyway? Who are the people in Boston?
I think they're planning on doing it. It's
They
just
are.
the
Yeah, but
timing
when?
of it. Well, I think
Look
that
at that
they are
road.
hoping
Come
to
on,
do
that thing is not
next
going to
fiscal
last
year,
another
from what I understand, right?
next
So,
year.
and we're
But she
ready to
didn't
go.
say.
You're ready to go.
I'm ready
No,
to
wait a
go.
minute.
Whenever they're ready, we're ready.
Wait a minute. Whenever they're ready, and they're ready, but it comes to the point where that road has become an hazard now. Okay?
Yeah.
And you people don't live here. Somebody can get that fire truck or that ambulance up here, then they're going to be in real trouble because it's going to cost them a lot more money, okay?
Well, we've voiced our concerns, we've spoken to the local legislators. Now, same thing, if the fire department's coming in there and something happens, then, the fire officials need to speak up in the police department.
Well, the fire officials should already speak up.
I can't say if they
I
have
mean,
or not.
I don't know, but I'm going to go talk to the fire chief and I'm going to ask him what the story is because that thing can't be delayed anymore, okay? That's at that point now. The whole thing is washing away.
So,
All right, so the last thing I had was, we talked about getting the employees' IDs, and I wasn't too sure if we needed to set up some sort of policy on when and how and,
Like ID
Yeah,
or
yeah,
just something
yeah.
more, just something simple.
right. So I called the town and I asked them if they had a policy, and they said no. So I wasn't too sure if we should have at least something in writing on, maybe when the guys come in, they should put it on, and when they leave, they need to take it off or something, or just,
we should always have the badges, just like my individuals, my staff, have it when they're on company time working, and especially when they're going into people's apartments, they have their IDs on them.
but do you have a policy?
I don't have a policy in regards to just that you're issued the ID, use it, and in the back of it in case you lose it, they allow
Excuse me,
somebody
your
drops it
place
into
bigger
the.
than this place?
Yes.
It is?
Mhm.
How many units you got?
I got 550 units.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just a regular thing
So
that,
you got more than one person working there.
I got 8 maintenance guys.
Yeah.
You know, I always have their IDs on at company times. And then,
Okay.
of course, you know, issue when they're first employed, and then when they terminate via, you know, if they leave on their own or termination, to make sure you get their ID back, along with all the keys and all that stuff. But you really don't really need to have anything, but we could add something into
Yeah, if
our
they,
manual.
because if they lose it, they have to report it right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Is
if
it
the
gonna open
picture
any
is on
doors
it-
or anything, or is it just going to be?
No, open,
just
does open
for
any doors,
visual-
it's just a visual with their picture on
Okay.
it saying, you know,
If their
that they're
picture
with
is
the
on
housing
it.
authority and that's it.
Yeah, I would have their picture, you know, East Long Meadow Housing Authority in the back in case if lost, please store it in the mailbox.
Yeah, we already have them, we've already
Um,
have
You
You
Here's
won't have
the-
them
done.
already. You can't read mine.
We have them done already. We had Ryan do them,
Mm-hmm.
and he did a great job.
okay.
But before I give them to the employees, I wasn't too sure if I should have a policy in place when they get their ID.
Well, maybe
About
you could just do like a half-page little thing and have them sign it. Say, received it. This
Hello.
is our expectation.
Okay.
Keep
So
it
just
simple.
if they lose it, report it immediately
Report it
and
immediately.
just
And
wear it when they're
yeah,
on
and
the
if there's
job.
if there's a cost associated to get it replaced, you know, then they
Allow
have,
them one maybe or something,
Yeah.
and then as it happens.
yeah, you never know.
But these
These
open
guys are,
doors,
yeah.
so you know,
Yeah.
if I lose mine, you have to really, as long as it's just for visual, you should be
you know, the
okay.
maintenance guys are crawling all over the place, so if they don't have it wrapped around the neck,
Oh,
you know, if they have it
yes.
in their belt or
Yes.
something, you know,
Yeah.
and a belt buckle or something, it always happens.
Just tuck it in their files or something.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
How are we doing with our vacant units? Are we getting good? Getting
We're getting worse.
worse? How many we have vacant? 9?
I think you'll pick them up before the end of the summer.
It's just getting them rehabbed and getting them back and market, huh?
Oh, they already got 3 rented, right?
One,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Oh my gosh.
9, maybe probably like 10 now
10
vacant.
vacant.
Yeah.
Still some with belongings in them that people have to come claim.
Are
et
they
cetera.
all in
Oh,
this
that's another
unit
3.
here?
Another, so that's on top of?
Yeah, they're leaving at the end of the month. I have 3 more
Lynn.
leaving at the end of the month.
Lynn, are
Yeah.
they all here
So
on Quarry Hill?
No.
No?
No.
No.
they're scattered.
How many
Is that
About
unusual?
3?
I can remember people waiting years to get in.
Every once in a great while, I have a good turnover.
Mhm.
I mean, one year I think I had 45 vacancies in a year.
Wow.
So, but then after that, it just kind of like maybe if you have 10 or
Yeah.
20, that's good. But this is
Oh.
this is back to the yeah, it's
Hmm.
getting a little scary.
Do you know why? People
No,
just.
Move
aging in
on to-
place
yeah.
and
Some
yeah.
people died too, you know.
Well, I know that, but I mean, there are other.
I mean,
I
I
know
think
that
2 or 3
reason.
people died here, I think, recently.
Unfortunately, you know, it's just like
That
here, like
happens. Yeah,
my
I
place,
always thought there was a
we're housing the
healthy
elderly and
list
disabled,
of
so.
people waiting to get in.
Oh, there is.
Yeah. Oh,
Some
there is.
people
Oh, there
wanna
is,
live near
but I
the
But they
need
don't
to get it.
kids,
qualify.
you know,
Oh, you
to-
need to get them.
I need
yeah.
to get them up
Promote.
and running and
Or move to a
floors and
warmer
painting and
climate.
repairs and
And we have some emergency
Yeah,
people
but this
too.
place is not that many empty anymore now, right here that I know of, because I know they're working painting some of them, and I think they're all pretty well rented here now, isn't it?
we have a few vacancies still.
Still where some of the buildings.
Yeah, scattered around.
Well,
But
some
we
of-
have a list, so the guys just need, they all got vacation
Mm.
time in the summer,
Summertime.
so we
yeah.
just gotta,
I'm surprised the
work
guy
on it.
living here is 57 years old. I don't get that.
All right.
If there's nothing else, looks like the next board meeting is scheduled for September 11th.
September 11th? Oh,
Yeah.
sounds like.
If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I hear a
We'll
second?
second that.
Any further discussion? Not hearing any, all in favor?
Aye.